Hey guys, welcome in to Bollox. This evening, we are here in the Bozard Ford studio.
That's right.
Lenny, welcome in, man. It's it's the new entity. I don't think I need this. Blake's got everything in place. I don't need that anymore. I got little notes here. But I want to say thank you. You guys are here with us on the first evening show of Bollox. We're going 4 days a week, and it's exciting stuff.
I'm looking forward to it.
Here on the 904. We're on the 904 Now app. If you would hit that share button, love to see some people in there. That we're going to go through a lot of different topics. At the end of the day, we have 5 questions. They're very insightful questions, Lenny. So I hope you studied.
I can make up answers.
Okay. I mean, these are. Whew. I know you got that Ivy League degree. It might have to come into play at this point. Okay. Against 2 Flagler grads.
Go Big Red.
So we probably need like 89 more gorillas. Oh, wait a second. I might give some away there. All right. Well, we got to pay some bills, Lenny. We're going to go back and forth, and you know how I love to do reads. Here we go. Haven't done a read in about 5 years.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine, their goal is to make sure your time and experience buying a car is stress-free, fun, and enjoyable. Bozard is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949. Same as you. Yeah. Bozard Ford Lincoln has been a recipient of numerous dealer awards, including Best Ranked #1 automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rater. Bozard Ford also has won back-to-back President's Awards. I think it's back-to-back now.
Oh,
President's Awards, which is the highest honor given by Ford Motor Company. Check them out today online at bozardford.com. Lenny, you're up.
All right, if you're feeling a little peckish, these neighborhood diners are more than just a place to eat. They're where hospitality blooms and friends gather. Bring your own or make new ones. Let's bring your own friends, not bring your own food. They'll cook for you.
Yeah.
The coffee is always hot. The smiles are genuine, and the food tastes like home. Every meal is a chance to make memories, share stories, and create bonds that last a lifetime. It's not just about the food on the plate, but the community that comes together at the table. Come see us at Moultrie Creek Diner or Anastasia Diner. Tell them Andy sent you, and I'll be having breakfast with my wife there tomorrow.
Woohoo! He's such a good dude.
We got a date.
You and Andy, or you and your wife?
No, me and my wife.
Oh, okay.
Andy's welcome to join us, but me and my wife.
Well, I think he'll be there.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. One of my favorite sponsors of all time. St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum. Set sail for an adventure at the St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum, home to the world's largest and most authentic collection of pirate artifacts. Explore over 800 relics across 40 immersive exhibits. That's hard to say. Including Thomas Tew's original pirate chest, Blackbeard's blunderbuss, and gold from Queen Anne's Revenge. You'll even see one of only 3 authentic Jolly Roger flags left in the world. Curated by Pat Croce and the Croce family, it's a journey through the real pirate history and right down St. Augustine at 12 South Castillo Drive. Come experience the golden age of piracy. I blundered on that one a little bit.
Like a bus.
Yeah, blunderbuss. Blunderbuss.
Exactly, not cherry
I don't know
bus.
why Blake put in blunderbuss and thought I'd be okay.
All right, so you all know today is Cinco de Mayo. So if you're looking for someplace to go, I couldn't think of any place other than eat, drink, and be Irish at Meehan's Irish Pub for Cinco de Mayo. Irish Pub and Seafood House right on the waterfront in downtown St. Augustine. Whether you're craving a classic corned beef and cabbage, fresh seafood from the Raw Bar, or our famous bangers and mash, Meehan's where locals and visitors feel right at home. Grab a pint in our cozy Irish pub on wine upstairs at Johnny's Oyster Bar with stunning views of the Matanzas River, or kick back in the backyard with tropical vibes and a Caribbean, no, that's different. No, not Canadian. Right, that's different. More maple syrup and poutine.
Yeah.
Caribbean-inspired menu.
Who's blunderbussing now?
Exactly, Jerry.
Yeah.
The pints are cold, the food unforgettable, and the welcome is always warm. Only at Meehan's.
Yep. All right. New sponsor.
Yay.
First read for this sponsor. And I really appreciate working with them a lot on a lot of different projects, and excited they're joining the team. Anastasia Construction and Shotgun Plumbing. That's one company. When it comes to plumbing and construction in North Florida, trust the experts at Anastasia Construction and Shotgun Plumbing. Whether it's residential or commercial, service repair, or new installation. They do it all, and they do it right the first time. Owner, GC, and master plumber Michael Severio is licensed, insured, and committed to quality. No surprise charges, no weekend or night up charges, and they always were there 30 minutes out. Honest work, written estimates, clean and professional services every time. Visit them at and make Shotgun the only plumber you'll ever need. They do construction. They did our rehab on our bathroom, and it was awesome.
Nice.
They did a great job. They're the ones that built out, if you're wondering who they are, they built out the Lotus restaurant too.
Okay.
So
nice build that is.
yeah. So excited to have them as part of the team. All right, Lenny, it's Monday. We got a lot of topics. I brought in a couple topics. I'm going to throw 3 your way. All right.
Come on.
Actually, how about we do this? We let Blake make the first pick.
Sure.
All right. I'm going to throw 2 out. You throw in 1.
Okay.
And Blake gets to pick one of those 3. All right.
Got it.
So we're going to go back and forth again. Okay. You good with that?
I am.
Sound like a good format?
Works for
We'll
me.
find out if it works soon. All right. Here are mine. Alcatraz.
Dog names.
Dog names.
Dog names.
Oh, okay. I wasn't going to go with this next one, but now you've taken me there. Hurricane names.
Okay.
All right. All right, Blake, you get to choose. You have Alcatraz, dog names, or hurricane names.
Let's go Hurricanes.
Hurricane names. All right, Lenny. The 2025 names have come out. Have you looked at any of the names at all?
I just saw a couple in passing, so I remember one, and I have no idea what the other 24 are.
Coming off of the Kentucky Derby, we're going to pick a trifecta of hurricanes that we think are going to be the ones that are the scariest this year. All right, we're going to do our own hurricane draft. All right, Blake's going to record it. We're going to have it, and then at the end of the season, we're going to know who is the best hurricane picker, or worst. Actually, I don't know if there's a best in this one.
All right, but now there's some logic to apply here.
Okay.
You know, there's one that's going to be a real big blowhard, but that's the 24th name. So I don't know if I want to put that one on my list and get through another 23 to get there.
There's not actually 24 names here.
Okay.
Because they don't do Q's.
Okay.
So they don't do Q's, and I don't think they get to the Z's.
Right.
Or the X's.
But getting to the end means we.
Yeah.
Why not? Oh, getting to the end means we've gone through a whole lot of name storms.
Yes. Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm rooting for us to get past the first 5 or to get to the one that I think is going to be the big buster.
Yeah. No. It's the one. We're going to do it by property damage.
Okay.
Who's 3
Okay.
does the most property damage? Not necessarily who creates the most chaos. We're talking about actual property damage. All right. You've already way overthought this. I can tell.
Well,
I think your hat's on a little snug.
I'm just rooting for
Cornell's coming out, isn't it?
I'm rooting for Florida, man.
Cornell's coming out.
Show one. Cornell's coming out.
I'm rooting for Florida.
Here, one thing I do love about this new in this studio, Blake, he can't lean too far away from his microphone.
Hey, it works good.
That's the beauty. And we're gonna do it. Who gets to pick? And we're gonna do. You're gonna go first.
Okay.
I'm gonna go second. Blake's gonna go second or third and fourth.
Okay.
Then I go fifth, and you go sixth, and then you pick again.
Okay.
7, 8, and 9. All right. So, and Blake, you're prepared for your hurricanes.
Let me get the notes app out.
All right. So you're gonna bring up the chart. They can play at home on the hurricanes. And are you ready, Blake, back there?
All right, so
with the hurricane names, so they can play at home. Let's flash it up there for them.
Yeah. So Lenny's going first, correct?
Lenny is going first.
Okay.
All right. Lenny, you have number 1 here. I got a pen and we'll mark it out. So we got who is not available anymmore.
No.
Okay. I'm taking Jerry in honor of Jerry Garcia. He was quite a dominant force.
Yeah, he was pretty windy.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm going with Dexter, Blake. So Dexter is off the list just because of the TV show.
Yeah, he can leave a lot of bodies in his wake.
He left some bodies out there.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Dexter. All right, Blake, you're keeping track of the list, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if I should go with this or not, depending if I want to come back to the house or not. I'm going to say Rebecca.
There you go.
I knew where you were going, but it's spelled different, so
Right.
it's not. Oh, that was brave. All right, you have pick number 4 too.
I'm going to go with Lorenzo.
Lorenzo. All right. See, and I'm going with the one that just has to speak to the manager.
Okay.
All right. You can't. I don't know if Karen's watching, Karen Zander's watching today or not, but I'm going with Karen as my second hurricane pick.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to, in honor of Pete Melfi, we're going to have to go with Van.
Van Strange. Woo.
That's it, man.
All right.
Boy, if we get all the way down there, that's going to be a scary season. That's what I was worried about.
That one's going to be a November hurricane, which is really frightening.
Yes.
Yeah. I hope we don't get to Van.
No, me too.
All right.
I'll take him anyway.
Where are you at?
I'm going again?
Yeah, you go again.
I will take, I'll take Umberto.
Umberto is gone. All right, now I got to. I mean, you guys left me my 1 and 2 picks,
Okay.
so I'm feeling pretty good about my draft so far, and now I have to really kind of think it through. I'm trying to think of what about Imelda? She's going to throw some shoes around.
Got to kick some shoes up, yeah.
Yeah, she's going to throw some shoes around. See, I can go with her. Chantel. Chantel's one of those names that's like, you meet her at a party. Hi, I'm Chantel, and like you immediately move away from that situation because you know there's so many red flags. Do you know any Chantels?
I do. I actually performed
Chantel
a wedding for a Chantel and her husband.
Or is that Chantal? That's not Chantel. I know a Chantel. I don't know if I know a Chantal. Yeah, Chantal.
Well, all right. If we're going to be pronouncing it differently, then I'm not quite sure. But
I don't know if I know a
Chantal.
Chantal.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna stick with the shoe flyer.
Okay.
I'm going with the Melda.
Fair enough.
All right.
All right. So, Lane, just to confirm, what was your last pick again?
My last pick was Umberto.
Okay, thank
I
you.
got
Umberto.
Jerry Umberto and Van Strange.
Yes.
All right. Who? So my picks. I've been going with like logically and try to go with like the middle.
Never be logic. This is bollocks.
I know
exactly.
You scolded Lenny for being logical sometimes. So you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Olga.
Olga. Oh yeah.
All right. So,
Olga was okay.
So once again,
read off what everybody has, Blake.
Lenny, you have Jerry, Van, and Umberto.
Indeed.
Okay.
Dad, you have Dexter, Karen, and Imelda.
Imelda, yeah.
Imelda.
Yeah, Imelda. That's fine.
Whatever her name is.
Yeah.
And my name
Mrs.
is
Marcos.
Yeah, and you have
Rebecca, Lorenzo, and Olga.
All right.
We got them covered.
So we got to hold on to this. Hopefully,
None of them happened.
none of them happen, and none of them happen here. Some of them are going to happen.
Right.
Hopefully, none of them hit.
Hey, if they hit Star City, Star Base, he can rebuild it. He's rich.
And Sebastian's happy. He's like, I didn't get picked. All right. So it looks like out there, Kathy had Karen, Umberto, and Aaron. Sherry had Aaron, Wendy, and Melissa. All right. And Diana says, no, Diana, we're not calling you. I'm on air. I'm sorry. She's talking to Melissa.
Okay.
So I think we can put those down. We're going to put that one in the books.
Got it.
All right. And I'm going to take that one off my list. All right. Lenny, what was the one you said? You said you had
Dog names.
Blake. Well, I was going back and forth. I had Alcatraz. Is that the one?
No, you didn't say Alcatraz, but that's on the list.
All right. Let's go with Alcatraz and back to you.
Dog names or Starbase?
Starbase. Okay. So we have Blake, you're going to pick. We have dog names, Alcatraz, and Starbase.
Mm-hmm.
Blake, what do you want to do? Which one you want to talk
I'm
about?
gonna go with Starbase.
Starbase. Okay, I'm gonna have to write it down because I don't even know what this is.
Oh, you'll learn. It's the newest company town of America.
Okay.
Starbase is at Boca Chico Beach,
Still don't know.
Texas, right
Okay.
on the coast.
Okay.
It's where they launched the rockets in Texas for SpaceX.
Oh, okay.
So they had a little election there, I guess, yesterday or Saturday, maybe Saturday, to decide whether they wanted to change the name or call this municipality Starbase.
Okay.
Well, it literally is a company town. It's a population of just over 500 people.
So it's like Bentonville
Yeah.
was.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
The majority of the people work for or are related to somebody who works for SpaceX.
Okay.
They had an election, and they voted to create this city called Starbase. They put in a new mayor, who is a gentleman by the name of Bobby Padden. Congratulations, Mayor Bobby.
Congrats, Bobby.
And the two other council people either all work for or are family members of SpaceX employees.
Okay.
And they can do their own zoning and everything else, close roads for rocket launches. And the vote was a resounding 212 in favor of it and 6 against.
So basically, they basically just created like Texas's version of like the Reedy Creek Improvement District for like Disney, but instead of like magical theme parks, it's rockets and maybe a theme park in the future.
Well, and they can control the tax themselves too.
100%.
So like Marineland has like 4 people, like maybe 6. You know,
Pretty close.
And I met the vice mayor, and I said, "Well, who's the mayor?" He said, "My dad." So you know,
Or he gets family
all right,
of them.
Blake. Here's the challenge. I want to see if Starbase already has a flag or a logo up.
Fact checking.
I want to see if they've already went that far. What was the name of the city originally?
I don't know that it was. It might have been unincorporated.
Okay,
It was Boca Chica Beach.
Yeah.
Boca Chica Beach.
So
It's hard to say.
So from what
That's
I
why they went
understand,
to
so
Starbase.
Boca Chica Beach is okay. So this is the nerd in me coming out. So basically, Boca Chica was basically like part of like an unincorporated town of like Brownsville.
Oh gosh,
Yes.
Brownsville.
Yes. So they don't have an official. Starbase doesn't have an.
See why they don't
official-
want to be associated
Yeah.
with Brownsville.
Yes.
So they basically separated themselves from Brownsville.
Well, they can close roads. They can do their launches. There's like no noise ordinances for their large rockets going off, things of that nature. And it's primarily to get to Mars.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So, this is one step getting Elon Musk closer to home.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, he's an alien, and we're okay with that.
Right.
Oh, some of us are okay with that. I don't know if you're okay with that.
Well, once he finishes, repopulating the planet,
By
we can
himself.
go on from there. Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
At some point, this man's got to be very tired.
well, he's doing his part.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
because I can tell you right now, the Muslims are kicking the Christians' ass right now. If there's another crusade, Christians are in trouble.
I'm under the impression Hispanic Catholics are trying to keep up.
Well, yeah, but unfortunately, white America is not.
Well,
Yeah, Hispanic. The
what do you mean you have a headache?
Yeah. That's when you walk in with the aspirin already. You walk in with the aspirin in the water, and you go, "Here, honey, this is for you."
Right.
I don't have a headache. Gotcha.
Ooh, well played.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotcha.
So, all right. So unfortunately, Starbase does not have an official flag
All
yet.
right.
So.
So
It will.
I think, one of our goals of this early show of Bollox this evening is to try and get the mayor of Starbase on a Zoom call.
Bobby Peaton.
Blake, you think you can do that within a month?
Well,
We're doing producer challenge right now.
Okay.
all right. Let's do this.
What do you think?
Let's do this.
You got this.
Bobby Peden.
All
So
right.
He is a SpaceX employee working out of Starbase, Texas.
yeah, see, I mean, he should have his own mayor's office mansion by that time. He probably makes enough money they could. All right, switching topics. I had Alcatraz on the board. What's your next?
Dog names.
Dog names is still on the board, Blake. And let's go with Did he jury? Did he jury dog names in Alcatraz?
Let's go with Baby Oil and Diddy.
Did he?
All right. Well, we're doing that, Blake. Do me a favor. Look up and see what plea deal he turned down. I couldn't find it, but he turned down a plea deal.
Does the plea deal does the plea deal include a new courtroom drawing for him?
I don't know.
Yeah, you want to look up?
If there's a plea deal, he wouldn't have been in the courtroom.
Oh, wow. That's pretty horrible.
Oh, yeah.
That looks like a sketch from the TV show Good Times.
I did notice he was getting gray.
That looks like something JJ drew. You remember JJ's artwork?
I do.
Jimmy Walker.
Dynamite!
Yeah. So
He didn't say that while we were in Steak and Shake.
he definitely did not say. Blake and I ran into him at Steak and Shake 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You were probably like 10 years old.
I think it was like 14 years ago.
Okay. So, yeah, you're like 10 years old. And I was like, Blake didn't know who he was.
Right.
I was like, that's Jimmy Walker. It's got to be Jimmy Walker. He's
Funny
here
man.
for like, I mean, this is when the comedy club was here. But he wasn't here for the comedy club. He had a friend that lived here that he was visiting. So, all right.
He was a funny guy.
All right. We're talking about Diddy. What do you got on the Diddy daddle?
Did he or didn't he is the question.
Yeah, he definitely did something.
It was his little freak-offs.
Mm-hmm.
55-year-old gentleman using more baby oil than Hawaiian Tropic competition.
Yeah.
So jury selection starts today for his trial. He's got some high-powered attorneys working with him. And
Who's he got?
he's got attorneys that worked for anybody who had a lot of money and was looked at with
more
side
money
eye.
than sense, and this is what we got in this situation.
Exactly. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes because, again, he turned down a plea deal, which I can respect, but, you know, it's going to be tough to find an impartial jury. I don't know if they're going to ask for a change of venue and move it out of, I believe it's in New York City.
Do you think they would even move it out of New York? They didn't move Trump's trial
Right.
out of New York City.
Nor Jeffrey Epstein, yeah.
Or Epstein. I mean, so I just don't see them moving it out of New York.
Plus, you know, where are you going to go? It's not like this hasn't had national coverage.
Yeah.
So it's that you got to have to find, you know, you
I
have
mean,
to
are
find
they going to go to Vermont where somebody doesn't know who Diddy is?
Right.
Come on.
Yeah. But so it looks like the exact details are unknown, but the attorney said like the sentence would have been like less than what would have happened if he was to be found not guilty in the court.
If he was to be found guilty.
If he was to be found guilty,
Okay.
Then if he was to be found guilty, it would have been a possible life sentence for him.
Yeah, it would have been possible
Right.
life in prison.
So the plea deal would have, you know, given him some hope of coming back out and, you know, going back to another freak off.
It wasn't quite life.
Right.
So
There's a lot of charges there. I mean, trafficking, rape, sexual exploitation.
all right.
You know, it's not a good scene.
Okay, here's my question. Who would be the worst person for Diddy to be on that jurors? Who would be the worst person? Blake, you
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber. Okay.
Because there was because there was some stuff like the whole thing started because during Justin Bieber's like at the start of his career, Diddy was a part of it, and we heard some stuff like, hey, Diddy may have done some things.
To tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, you're saying Diddy's in trouble if Bieber does that.
Yeah.
But do you think Biebs does that?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Justin
yeah.
Bieber. Okay, I can go with that.
He's grown up, sure. He's got a wife and child now. He's got a family to look out for.
Yeah. So who do you think is he doesn't want on that jury?
Any woman who's had any woman who's been part of a Me Too movement or has felt that they've been Me Too'd or are tooing.
Who? Okay, and very generic.
Broad.
Yeah, that was very generic answer.
Well,
there.
unfortunately, it's a large pool. It's a large pool of potential jurors.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Sadly, very sadly.
it's a lot of in any society. In New York City is no different from that.
Yeah.
All right, Blake. Follow up question. Then we move from Diddy. Who do you think is the next big star when it comes out is going to be basically just shunned from celebrity status?
Oh boy.
You want me to give mine?
Go ahead and give out yours first.
I think mine's J-Lo. I think she's in trouble.
Really? Okay.
I think she's in trouble. I think she was at some of the shooting situations and some of the situations that she doesn't want her name out there too much because I think her association with him, being that close to him for so long. I think there's some things out there that she knew and possibly could have said. So I think she's the one who's probably in the biggest jam there.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Jeez. I really don't think we're gonna have like a major celebrity in a while because I'm pretty much I think we're gonna reach like the end of like cancel culture like from what we knew like
Reach the end of cancel culture.
kind of like
I think that's going to be a constant roller coaster of our lives.
indeed. But if I had to pick someone like out of the blue, I think it might be Pierce Morgan.
Pierce. Okay.
Yeah. There's definitely some stuff to like.
Yeah. See, I don't like him anyway, so that's.
Yeah.
I do like J-Lo, but I don't like Pierce Morgan.
Yeah.
He's kind of just gets under my skin.
Yeah.
So.
And then, but
Are you a Pierce Morgan fan?
No opinion.
Yeah. Neither way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he's one I'd be like, okay, I kind of expected
actually,
that.
no, I'm gonna rescind my answer and put it back in Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy
Whoa.
Kimmel. Wow, that's taking a big swing.
That's a big swing right there. That's a roller coaster swing there.
And a reason why I think a lot of people are gonna pull up like his stuff and like what he's done on the Man Show, and basically say like, okay, what were you actually doing behind the? What was going on like in between the cuts that of like some like the racy stuff he did on there?
Yeah, but I don't think that'll be associated with Diddy though.
Right.
No.
Yeah, I was putting the association with Diddy.
See,
All right, what do you got?
My question is, were other than they were contemporaries, Diddy and Kanye West or whatever he is now,
Kanye, yeah.
Yeezus, they were contemporaries. Were they rivals, or would Kanye been at a couple of them their parties?
Yeah. I think Kanye's crazy,
Oh yeah.
but I don't think he's in this side of crazy. I think Kanye was such a workaholic, and he was in the studio and he was doing this. I think he's a different kind of crazy genius.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of his personality, but he is a genius when it comes to music. I think Diddy was more of a. I'm not a huge Diddy music fan.
You didn't like Ciroc as well?
I was going to ask, what happened? What happened to the vodka? What happened to the jeans? What happened to the clothing line?
Yeah,
the vodka's still going on. So
Okay.
yeah, that one he's just a partial owner on, I believe.
then like
He's promoting it at his white parties.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I got news here. There's a lot of people in the Hamptons that are probably getting a little nervous right about now from all those parties he threw out there.
Yeah.
Like really great people hosted white parties. Diddy, Donald Sterling hosted white parties. So probably not go to a party where you have to wear all white in the future.
Right, where they don't serve red wine.
Yeah.
All right. We're done with Diddy. All right. So you go, I go, and you go again. All right.
Okay.
What you got? Dog names.
I got dog names.
Still holding on to the dog names.
I'm telling you.
I'm still holding on to Alcatraz at this point.
Okay, and then I've got.
Dad, can you adjust your microphone, please? Your face is blocking.
I was leaning back. I'm sorry.
And then I've got Kentucky Derby horses from Florida, and what state had the most Kentucky Derby winners forever?
Okay. I would assume it's Kentucky.
I think you're correct.
All right. Just saying, probably the first 20, they didn't travel a whole lot.
Lucky guess. There you go. Right.
They didn't travel a whole lot. All right, Blake, you heard the three. Dog names, Alcatraz, Derby horses.
Let's go dog names.
Dog names.
Excellent.
All right, where are we at with the dog names?
Well, I was very surprised by this list.
Okay.
The most popular dog names in the country are Luna.
I expected that one. I was expecting Luna and Bella are the ones that just seem to.
And from, you must know where they came from. They have no, the only one that made sense to me was Charlie, which is All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yeah.
And even that one is, but Luna and Bella, it's, whatever happened to Spot and Fang and,
Fido.
Wolf. Exactly.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, in the country, Luna, Bella, and Charlie are the most popular dog names, followed by Max, Daisy, Lucy, hello Lucy, Coco, Milo, and Cooper. Now, Florida, we get a little wacky here.
Milo, it seems to be an overused name.
Okay.
I know. I've known a couple dogs named Milo.
Well,
they're always little shit eaters. Shit eaters too. Yeah.
Well, in Florida, they skipped right over poor Charlie, and the three most popular dog names in Florida are Luna, Bella, and Max.
Max. Well, Max is an easy one.
Yeah, Max is very common.
Yeah, Max is an easy one.
See, I always wanted to name a dog either Orion or Pimlico. We
Oh,
got the Preakness coming up. Yeah, Pimlico.
Pimlico, yeah.
I like that.
yeah. Hey, Blake,
Yes.
someone actually requested to be able to see the flag behind Lenny.
Another New
can you-
Yorker.
Can you just put that up on the screen for Bobby so he can understand
Yeah, let me
what the flag is?
let me go and put
Is that
it
the
up.
New York
It's
State
the
flag?
New York State
That's the
flag.
New York State
Yeah, New York
flag.
State
That's a
flag.
lot. That's a lot of color. You guys
Yeah.
wasted a lot of money.
It's New York, baby. We got a lot of money. But Excelsior is the New York State motto.
Okay.
Upwards.
Upwards. All right.
Or
Excelsior.
shredded paper that you put in things to pack.
All right.
But I had
Your
some
dogs.
fun.
When's the last dog you
I was the...
have you owned a dog since you've been to Florida?
No, my wife won't let me, and we go back and forth on that, and I don't win. But no, it was my childhood dog, which my sister got as a 21st birthday present. Named it after her dormitory in the University of Buffalo, which is Clement Hall. So the dog's name became Clem.
Okay.
She got married, moved to California, and my father said, "I'm not taking care of this dog. You're taking care of this dog." And in
Sent the dog to California.
5 minutes, the dog was on my father's lap, and they were inseparable.
Oh, that's the way it works.
Yep, absolutely. My father loved that dog. The dog loved my father. And, it was sad. But he made it 14, 15 years. It was a good dog. He really was. It's very partial to my friend Daria and her leg.
Bobby adamantly said, "I ain't no New Yorker."
Okay.
Just by that response, he ain't no New Yorker.
I will
right.
take him at his word.
Blake, what was the first dog you remember? Now, I know which dogs we had when you were little, but I'm just wondering the first dog you remember.
Did we have Misty first before Big Mom had Buddy, or did we had Buddy before Misty?
Well, we had AJ, and AJ was my dog before the family, and AJ got put down shortly after your brother was born, so you'd have been about 2.5, almost 3 at that time. But I didn't think you would remember AJ. So Misty would have been your first dog you remember.
Misty would have been my first dog.
And then Buddy came along after Misty. Misty was a miniature rat, a yip dog.
There you go.
Yeah, she got into the chocolates a little too early in life. So,
and plus also some Kentucky Fried Chicken as well that you had to get out of her throat.
That's not good. Chicken bone's bad. They splinter.
Yeah. So I just wondered, my first dog that I remember was Rufus. It was at my grandparents' house. And I think he was like a lab Rottweiler mix. But he was an outdoor dog, and he'd just go adventure every once in a while, he'd come back for like 3 weeks and then be gone for 2 weeks, and we never knew when he was coming back. Very nomadic. And there was a lot of dogs in the neighborhood that looked like Rufus. It was weird. Not sure how that would happen.
He was very Diddy-like in his free time. More Elon Musky.
Yeah, I remember sharing a lollipop with Rufus, and my grandmother was freaking out. So,
well, I do have news for you, boys. On the top 100 list of dog names, Blue is number 56.
Blue is 56.
Yes.
All right. And my Blue is a girl, but Blue works for boys and girls.
Sure.
So,
could be
and then Chili,
powder blue or navy blue.
Chili's our other pup. I'm not sure if that made the list or not, but Chili is from the TV show Bluey, which my Blue was named not because of the TV show. The TV show came out after her. So it might have been the other way around.
Yeah, but didn't we name her after Blue's Clues because of Ty?
Yeah, it was named after Blue's Clues, and that was a girl too. So Bluey from the TV show Bluey is a girl, Blue's Clues is a girl, and our Blue's a girl. So
I'm developing a theme here.
yes, and she's a blue healer.
Okay.
Chili is Australian cattle dog with a red Aussie. And Rebecca calls her a Kelpie.
Okay.
She looks exactly like a Kelpie. And I don't know if you've seen the TV show Muster Dogs,
No.
but
Never heard of
mine too. It's about dogs that are hybrid dogs just to take care of cattle and sheep.
Working dogs. Sure.
In Australia, they're called Muster Dogs. Blake's got the whole thing going there. Whew.
Yeah, I just know
People still name their dog Lucy?
Surprisingly so.
Lucy's high up on the list.
Yeah, I saw that. It was like
Lucy
6.
is high up on the list.
Wait, hold on. Number 53 though. Dog.
Yeah,
Dog.
well, there you go.
Well, you have to say it correctly. It's Diogi.
Indeed.
The OG. The OG is the dog.
Yeah, but also,
But
but also, how is number 84 less popular than number 29? How is Thor less popular than Loki?
And how did Loki even get on the list? That's confusing.
There's some Marvel fans out there.
Yeah, I guess.
And if they're mischievous,
And they're in the dark, right? It's right.
if they're mischievous, Lucifer and Loki would be the dog's name if they're mischievous.
That's Loki definitely teethed on the couch.
All right, we got one more topic, and then we're going into five questions. All right. I still have on my list Alcatraz. Do you have any new ones?
I've got Lady Gaga in Rio.
Is that one or two?
One.
Okay. Gaga Rio, and we're going to go with Cinco de Mayo. So, Blake, which one are we going with? Alcatraz, Gaga Rio, or Cinco de Mayo?
If Cinco de Mayo involves the anniversary of the Trump tweet, I kind of want to hope it is that, so we can put that photo up.
All right, Blake, Alcatraz,
It's
Gaga Rio, or Cinco de Mayo?
Cinco de Mayo.
Okay, all right. It was your pick. We didn't need the story, and then you could have put it up. The timing would have been better. All right. Cinco de Mayo, what you got over there?
Well, it's not. Many people think it's Mexican Independence Day.
It is not.
No, it celebrates the Battle of Puebla in 1862, where the reverse of the Alamo, where an undermanned Mexican force defeated the French.
Yes. Yeah. Well, in the Alamo, we didn't win.
Right.
I bet if you ask most Americans.
But the Mexicans won with a smaller force.
The Mexicans won in Puebla.
Yeah. And at the Alamo.
Yeah, and at the Alamo.
Right. 1862.
But I think if you asked most Americans, they would think
Mexican
the American.
Independence Day.
No, the American. It's Mexican Independence Day, but even at the Alamo, they think the Americans won.
Well.
So we did not. That's why we remember the Alamo.
Right.
All right. Yeah, it is.
Just not properly.
So, Blake, there you go. I was going to say, this is the time you can put up your Cinco Trump picture. Okay, it just hit.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
There's taco bowls.
Oh, my gosh.
You know, Taco was also.
I might not be able to give him free reign on these things.
I know.
So it's going to get out of control.
But I did listen to somebody explain that, along with MAGA, there's an acronym that goes along with Donald Trump, and it's TACO.
Oh, okay.
Right.
What does that mean?
Trump always caves. I forget the O, though.
Okay. Yeah, this story would have been much better if you knew the O.
I know.
Okay.
And I had it earlier, but.
Okay. All right. It is time for 5 questions.
All right.
Ba-ba-ba.
I'm ready.
I know you studied all week for your 5 questions.
Which was pretty tough because I didn't know the subject.
All right.
I'm ready.
You guys, this is not trivia. There are no wrong answers unless you're different than mine. Here are your 5 questions for the week.
Bring 'em on.
Blake and Lenny. Best fried chicken, Popeyes, KFC, or Publix?
And I'm bringing in an outlier because I think Winn-Dixie is better than all of them.
Winn-Dixie.
The fried chicken that they make at Winn-Dixie over on US 1 South is the best fried chicken in town, bar none. And I have a problem with Publix fried chicken. It's not bad, but if you're getting the pieces, they use spiced wings and regular fried chicken.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get a bizarre combination. And I have no problem with the spiced wings, but it's just unsuspecting.
Yeah, well, I like Publix a little bit. They're not my
Right.
They're number 3 on my list, by the way. Here on my list, they're number 3, and I haven't tried the Winn-Dixie. So
Try Winn-Dixie.
I can't give an honest judgment of the Winn-Dixie wings. Which US one? The one north or
South.
the one at 207? Okay.
No, down in St. Augustine Beach.
Oh.
Yeah, St. Augustine Beach.
Oh, okay. Where the liquor store is.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Near
the one that's jamming because there's no Publix.
The one that replaced the Publix for a year.
Right.
Got
Exactly.
it. Okay. Got it.
All those people were wandering around the stores going, "Oh, so this is Winn-Dixie."
All right.
I have not tried the new KFC since they rebuilt the KFC over on US 1 opposite Chick-fil-A and Wendy's.
Bobby came in and said Trump always conquers opponents.
That wasn't it, but that could work.
Okay. That's the MAGA taco.
Right.
The MAGA taco. Yeah. Order that at Taco Bell. All right, Blake, which one are you going with?
I'm gonna go with KFC.
KFC.
But it has to be the extra crispy ones. Like
What?
what?
Original. Oh,
Extra crispy. Fight me.
I'm
on
ambivalent. I just like fried chicken.
okay. All right. No, I love fried chicken. Fried
Herbs
chicken.
and spices.
Yeah, and that's something I do okay with fried chicken, but I can never get it to the level I want it to be.
Yeah, you need a cast iron skillet and a lot of about 3 inches of grease.
Yeah, and it's popping everywhere.
Oh yeah, it ain't easy. You got to clean that up or do it outside.
Yeah, it's popping everywhere. All right, I love spicy Popeyes,
Popeyes is good.
but I can tell you right now, for the money, there is nothing better than a bucket at KFC, and you get the 3 sides for the family. We have 5 people. All right, everybody can eat KFC, and then there's a side everybody likes. And the new fries at KFC, they went away from the wedges, and now they have the seasoned fries like they used to have at Checkers.
Okay.
New fries are solid.
All right.
So,
But how does the parts break down? Does everybody fight for the wings or the drumstick?
usually,
I usually go with the breast.
yeah, it goes for the breast. I'm a thigh guy.
Yeah. Me too.
Ty is a drumstick. I think Rebecca's more of a breast person, and Maeve's a drumstick person too. But she
Nobody's
will
fighting for the wings. Impressive.
Yeah, no.
I'll come into your house. I'll take the wings.
The wings are great,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's just it's a lot of work for a little bit. When you got a breast or a thigh there, you can just dig in, and that's your meal.
See, I do like a drumstick. It's just so much easier to eat. The breast and the thighs, you got to work.
All right, and the coleslaw
Coleslaw's good.
is the only coleslaw I really like. I mean, it's that if you go any other style of coleslaw, I'm not a fan.
You like chopped and sweet.
Yep. All right, question number 2. We took a little bit of time on that one. Yeah, definitely chopped and sweet. Worst accident you had as a child, like where you like cut yourself, or you crashed in your car, or you just kind of,
As a child,
yeah. Worst accident you had as a child, like bicycle, you fell out of a tree, anything that's memorable where you're like, ooh.
6th grade Olympics,
Sixth
outside at
grade
the rec
Olympics,
center in
okay.
Long Beach. I was doing the backwards running race, and I fell and broke my wrist.
Oh, I see. You fell back, like both wrists, or just the one?
No, just one.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
And that was,
It would be
had to
terrible
start-
if you had 2 broken wrists
I had
as
to
a
start summer
12-year-old.
camp in a cast.
But you were kind of cool.
I was.
Yeah. And you didn't get colors at that time. It was just a standard
No, it was a
white
white
cast.
cast,
A
yeah,
standard
yeah,
white cast.
yeah.
Kids today, they can pick out colors and do all that crap.
I like the fluorescent pink.
All right.
I also remember back in the day, during the day, in roller derby,
Mhm.
there was one guy in the San Francisco Bay Area Bombers
Mhm.
who would put a cast on his arm and then whack people with it.
That's that sounds right. All right. As a 12-year-old, you had a cast on going into summer camp. Who was the cutest girl that signed your cast?
Oh, Francesca Gainey. She had red hair and was one of my first kisses.
Ooh, Francesca. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Sounds
Don't know where she is now.
sounds like a wine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Blake. Accidents you remember, and I'll tell you the one I thought. I don't know if you'll remember it or not. You were so young.
Okay, so if was it the one where I tripped up on a basketball court in elementary school, then you thought I had a concussion, then that I had to go through an MRI machine, like a CT scan for 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wow.
that one was pretty interesting. Yeah, I thought you might have had a concussion on that one. No, I was thinking about you were probably 4 years old, maybe 3, and you got a hold of my razor in the shower.
Oh, I remember. Oh God, no.
Did you remember that?
No.
And he sliced up his thumbs really bad. And I go in there, and it looked like Dexter had been in there.
Yeah.
And he's just bleeding. The cuts weren't as bad as the scene.
Right. Blood everywhere.
Yeah.
Swirling down the drain.
Yeah, no, it was the psycho drain
One
look.
of the safety razors where you would open
But he
it.
actually was going like this.
No, stop.
He was going like this, and it was a safety razor, but he didn't open it. He was actually like testing it out on his thumb.
It took him a while to realize that it worked.
and it didn't. It didn't start bleeding right away, and then when it started bleeding, I heard, "Ah!"
Oh God.
Yeah.
Delayed
Thank you for
reaction.
opening up that deep wound.
Yeah.
Dad.
It didn't leave a scar. You're fine. Yeah, Blake, you've been pretty fortunate.
Apparently didn't leave a visible scar.
His brother's broken like 4 bones, and
Had to have his entire hip replaced
twice.
Wow.
He's had 2 different hip surgeries. So you've been pretty fortunate.
Tough time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, please, I also thought at the time as well. I was also thinking as well the time I chipped my tooth while tripping up on the basketball court in middle school.
Yeah, you got that one. Basketball courts haven't been good to you.
No, they haven't. No, they haven't. Continue.
All right. So my injury and the one that I didn't really break bones until a little bit older in life, and I didn't break many that I knew of when I was a kid. I know I broke some toes and some other stuff, and possibly some ribs. And I'm pretty sure I broke a rib at this point. But I was riding with no hands. You remember when you first ride your bike and you could ride with no hands? It's so cool.
Yeah.
And you can do all this. And I was riding with no hands, and I just learned like 2 days earlier how to do it and was feeling good about it. And at some point I hit something and it turned my wheel perpendicular.
Oh, yeah.
And the bike stopped, and the only thing that kept going was me. And I rolled about 3 times. I had a huge gash in my elbow. Pretty sure I broke a rib. And of course, I was riding barefoot. So I'm pretty sure I broke a toe, and I definitely peeled back one of my toenails. And that was probably my most painful accident I had as a child. But as adventurous and everything as I was, I really didn't break that many bones. I had stitches and different stuff, but I never really broke a whole lot of bones as kids. I broke them as adult,
Right.
but not as kids. I mean, I broke my nose several times, like playing baseball.
Got to get the glove up faster.
No. We didn't have the best fields for practice, so I'm gonna go with that one. So let's see here. We got a lot of great ones there. Getting stitches. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people out there. Some rough ones. All right. Here we go. Can you name your 3rd grade teacher?
Sure. Nina Koch.
Nina Koch.
Had a crush on her for years.
That was your 3rd grade teacher.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what made her so special you had the crush on her?
She was young. She was tiny. She was pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, okay. Nina Koch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ended up becoming friends with her sister and her brother-in-law, who were on my paper route. And my friend Gary Krupp will see me, and he'll still tell me that the paper's late.
Yeah. Still tell you?
Yeah.
Did you ask for $2?
Oh, yeah.
I want my $2.
Exactly. Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. Blake, 3rd grade teacher.
Miss Masita.
Miss Masita. She was your 3rd and 4th grade, right?
She was. Yeah.
Yeah. That was one of your favorite teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You had a good group of teachers over at Osceola. You did okay.
I did all right.
Yeah.
I did all right. But however, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade were in a portable, but it was close enough to the school where it wasn't like too far out, though.
Yeah. You stayed in the same classroom.
3rd and 4th grade.
3rd and 4th grade, and then you weren't too far from that classroom for 5th.
Yeah.
So, all right. My 3rd grade teacher was Mrs. Barker at George Marks Elementary School. And I'm going to try and say this story without choking up. I lost my PE coach just this week. I'm going to his funeral next Saturday. Just a wonderful human being. They ended up naming the street after him, Coach Thomas. He was a football player at Florida A&M. I grew up in the South, and I grew up in a time where there was a lot of racial tension. Mm-hmm. Coach Thomas guided me through that as a young man, because I grew up in a very Southern family. Coach Thomas guided me through that. And we used to do the thing I remember about Coach Thomas, and he was my guy, and we stayed friends through adulthood. We did square dancing in 3rd grade, Miss Barker's class. The 3rd grade teacher. There were more black girls in the class than black boys, so you had to partner up. And at that time in the South, white boys and black girls didn't dance together in schools. And Coach Thomas came to me and said, "Hey, you're my guy. You good with this? And that was one of my first experiences. Is like I didn't think anything of it.
Right.
Like, okay, this is a real thing. I don't know if it would have been a real thing in the 70s in New York.
I was going to say, and this is the early 70s for you?
This was in the 70s. I bet it was 73, 74. But you had to hold hands.
Right.
You know, you had to hold hands, and it was still that type of tension. So yeah, it'd have been about 73, 74.
Yeah. See, where I grew up, Long Beach, which is about the same size, Long Beach Island is about the same size as Anastasia Island, and there were 4 distinct sections of town. There was Lido, which was in the east end of town, which is where the Nouveau Riche people lived, and predominantly Jewish. Then there was the east end, which was mixed, but primarily white, but religiously mixed as far as Catholic, Jewish, Protestant. The center of town, which was racially mixed, and that's where I grew up, which is where you're Puerto Rican, you're black, you're white, working class people lived. And then the west end, which is also very working class, but very Italian and Irish, and that's where your police and firefighters lived primarily, but it was almost all white. Well, there were neighborhood schools until I was in 5th grade. So from kindergarten through 4th grade, you went to neighborhood schools. West School was all lily white. Lido Elementary was white. East School was primarily white. And Central School was mixed. So 5th grade, they started doing grade-oriented schools because they didn't use the B word for busing, which is exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was interesting to see these kids coming in from the other end of town and their eyes really wide when they started seeing, you know, Puerto Ricans and black kids who I had spent my entire life growing up with
you were at Central,
and were my friends for forever. And it was really kind of interesting because they come in and they'd see Wandy Ortiz. Now, Wandy Ortiz at that time was probably 75 pounds soaking wet. Skinny guy, glasses. He looked like Urkel because he was always wearing a sweater vest. And people were going, "Who's that?" It's Wandy Ortiz. He's just a little guy.
Yeah.
He's a great guy, too, you know? So it really didn't affect me. And by the time we got into junior high school, you know, it wasn't an issue. It really wasn't because you had 2 years in 5th and 6th grade to sort of even everything out.
And the cultural fears, I mean, you know, I've been roommates with, you know, people of all races and stuff like that playing sports. But the cultural fears are on both sides of the table. Like, you know, you sometimes would see, you know, when I coached kids, predominantly white kids playing against black kids, the white kids were nervous about playing against black kids. When I coached teams that were predominantly all black kids playing against white kids, they were afraid of them.
Sure.
So they were afraid of each other just culturally. And, you know, I really think that sports is ahead of the game and the rest of society in a lot of ways when it comes to cultural divides like this. And my coach Thomas, and he was everybody's coach Thomas. I mean, you know, like I said, they named the street after him. Right. He was a coach there for 36 years, and he was a towering, powerful man. He was like a linebacker and a fullback at Florida A&M. Big guy, and just soft-spoken, wonderful guy, and just he brought that to me, and I can never thank him enough for that.
Yeah.
So, because I mean, it was not. I mean, a lot of people don't understand how it was in the South in the 60s and 70s unless you were here.
Right. And I would say it wasn't like that in New York, except to a degree it was. Because I guess I must have been in 9th grade, and there was a basketball game between Long Beach and Oceanside, which was one town over and was not on the ocean, just for the record, which is actually where Julie's from.
Okay.
Next town over. And a brawl broke out in a basketball game with our, you know, racially mixed, but, you know, predominantly black basketball team and the lily white Oceanside team. And it got out of hand, and it was typified as a race riot for 3 whole days.
Yeah.
And then everybody shook hands and went away.
It was just 2 basketball teams.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. It was somebody probably threw an elbow that was unnecessary, and it escalated from there. And then, you know, less cooler minds took it out of proportion.
Yeah, exactly.
Hot-headed athletes will do that.
All right. We have 2 more questions left.
I'm in.
This one is the hottest question going around the internet right now. All right. 100 men versus a silverback male gorilla. A fight to the death. A fight for your village. A fight for, you got 100 men versus a silverback gorilla. Who do you think wins?
Well,
if it's the men, how many does the gorilla take out?
Oh, I'm rooting for the gorilla and taking out at
You're
least.
rooting for the gorilla?
Hey, take out
You're
100 guys picking on one
You're
gorilla.
a horrible human being.
mad.
This gorilla is torturing this village.
Well, wait a second. Do we have details on that?
He's eating babies in the village, and you're rooting for the
You're
gorilla.
changing the parameters as we go. Boy, he wasn't swatting airplanes off a building.
He might have been.
Well, hey.
You're rooting for the gorilla.
Well, I'm just a contrarian. What can I tell you?
It's like, I'll tell you this. I saw a comedian, and he talked about losing his dad to cancer a couple years back. And he's talking about it. And he said his dad had this dog. And the dog died at the funeral. And the people in the audience, when they said, oh, when the dog died.
Right.
Not when his dad died.
Well.
When the dog died.
But,
so you're those people.
Now, I'm going to revisit this.
I love my dog.
Yeah, because there's actually...
But I'll fight a gorilla for my kid.
There's actually a phenomenal young man who's a senior in Long Beach High School now, Dunya Rodriguez, whose adoptive parents are just some of the kindest, most wonderful people on the planet. And this young man was born in Africa, raised in Africa, and he survived. That's why I'm going to go back to the men and their pointy sticks, because he and his brothers were attacked by a troop of chimpanzees. They killed his two siblings and literally ripped the poor young man's face off.
Yeah.
Well, I will talk about resilience, perseverance, and inner strength. This kid is a star wrestler, got a full scholarship to wrestling, and is just a wonderful, wonderful role model, beyond belief. So, for Dunya, I'm gonna take the peoples.
You're gonna take the peoples. How many do you think the gorilla takes out?
Oh, he's gonna take out at least 20, 25.
Okay, 20 or 25.
You ever see one of these guys? These are
they're big. They're big. Yeah, they're 400 pounds.
Yeah,
and can lift like a car.
One big sweep, and he's knocking down four of them like bowling pins.
Yeah, Blake, what you got?
I'm gonna say, it depends on the rules of the fight. I definitely would say so, but just straight up like arms, legs, against a gorilla's arms and legs. I'm still gonna say the humans, but yeah, probably like 35 humans will probably be killed in this.
All right, Robin says she read online it's about 50 men he takes out.
Okay.
So, and I'm thinking I think it's closer to the 25. I think I think I don't want to be number one.
Right, exactly.
I do not want to be number one.
Right.
Kind of put the fast guy out there, let him run around, because evidently, 400 pounds, he's going to get tired.
Well, I'm kind of thinking of this. I'm visualizing this like Gulliver and the Lilliputians when they start swinging ropes around him and knock him over, and then they tie him all up. I mean, that would be the play.
Yeah.
You need some serious ropes for a 400-pound gorilla.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you're allowed to use ropes. I think you can use like the colors, the clothes on your back. You can use those as type
they're
weapons.
coming in unarmed?
Oh, they're coming in unarmed.
Swing back to the gorilla.
You give me the stick. I take 10 guys, I think, and take him out. You give me a stick.
Oh.
So, no, this is without weapons.
Oh, I got to lean back
I think
toward the gorilla.
humans still got to find a way.
Well, except for the fact that, if 10 guys go in, the next 10 guys have got to wait for the first 10 guys to get thrown into the air before they can get to them.
Well, you're gonna go in 20 at a time. I think it's a 20 pack.
All right.
So I don't think you can go in at 10. I don't think you can go individually. One at a time.
That is one group hug that I do not want to be in.
Yeah. No, that's a lot of. I'll pass on the fight. All right. Your final question. Ben and Jerry's. I think was the Stodum stat this morning, right, Blake?
It was.
Yeah.
So Ben and Jerry's was the Stodum stat. They originally wanted to start a bagel shop. They couldn't afford the equipment. Okay. So they ended up doing ice cream. They took a class and learned how to make ice cream. Blake told me that one of them, Ben, doesn't have good taste buds, so that's the reason they added the chunks in to help him with the flavors. But Ben and Jerry's, you probably were fairly introduced to Ben and Jerry's before it got to the South. I didn't know anything about Ben and Jerry's until like the 90s, until it hit the grocery stores.
Yeah, until recently, I was never a big Ben and Jerry's fan, and that's me saying, Cherry Garcia is not my favorite flavor because I'm not big on fruit and ice cream too terribly much. But I will tell you that their chocolate therapy is some good stuff, and their
I love their salted caramel. I said it on the show today. I love their salted caramel. The fish foods like Rocky Road on steroids.
right.
Blake, what's your go-to when we go to Ben and Jerry's?
I think it's like the what was it the caramel blonde brownie.
Caramel blonde brownie. All right. So when you eat ice cream, is it on a cone? Is it on a cake cone, sugar cone? How do you eat your ice cream?
Usually out of the container.
Oh, so you're a cup guy.
Yeah.
You're a cup guy.
I'll put it into a mug.
Blake's a waffle cone guy, I'm pretty sure.
Actually, it depends on my mood, but for the most part, I'll probably go with a cup as well. But I think it also depends on the toppings and then what ice cream I'm getting. Like if I want to do like vanilla with like gummy bears or sprinkles, I'll get it in a cup. But if it's just like regular vanilla, I'll definitely get it in a waffle cone.
Guess what, guys? We're done with show number 1.
Wow.
Bollox this evening
In the books.
is in the books.
Okay.
I want to say thank you to everybody out there. Hit that share button. Blake's going to be throwing out some reels. If you haven't, please update your app. If you haven't done it in a while,
Right.
Blake has made some amazing changes to it. I appreciate that. Rebecca came up with a brilliant idea to do government TV link. And let me tell you this, it is so much easier using the app. If you wanted to watch something on government TV, just go to the app and click it. It takes you immediately to it. You don't have to go through the 19 steps. Amazing traffic and weather out there. So thank you, Blake, for all your hard work on that. And thank you, Rebecca, for that brilliant idea. And as always, thank you to our amazing watchers. We appreciate it, and our incredible sponsors.
For sure.
We'll see you tomorrow
At Anastasia Diner for breakfast.
There you
Somewhere around 9:30, 10 o'clock.